Good morning. In today's video, we'll continue with the chapter The 100 Dresses Part 2. So, in the previous video, we read that it was Wanda Petronsky who wrote a letter to Miss Mason, and Miss Mason, she read it in front of the children. So the children in the class, they took interest and they did listen to her very carefully. So in her letter, she did write that the dresses that she had made, it was for the students who were there in room number 13, and she specifically mentioned about Peggy and Maddie, and she did tell them to keep the dresses that she had talked about. So today we will continue with the chapter and we'll read page number 78. I hope so, said Maddie sadly. She felt sad because she knew she would never see the little tight-lipped Polish girl again and could not ever really make things right between them. So it was like Maddie, she was just quite sad that day, and she said that she was just thinking that she would never be able to meet Wanda again. She would never be able to meet the girl the Polish girl who always kept quiet, and she will not be able to make amends. She will not be able to make the things right, and she will never be able to clear whatever was there in her mind. She went home and she pinned her drawings over the torn place in the pink flowered wallpaper in the bedroom. The room came alive for the brilliancy of the colors. Maddie sat down on her bed and looked at the drawing. She had stood by and said nothing, but Wanda had been nice to her anyway. So now what Maddie did was, like, she went home and the drawing that was given by Wanda, that was like gifted to her by Wanda. So what she did was, she placed it in her room, and it was the wallpaper, the pink flowered wallpaper in her bedroom was coming out from a place. So she placed it there, and the room, although when the picture was not placed, when the drawing was not placed, so that time it looked quite shabby, but the room became quite lively after this drawing was placed there. And it is like the colors that were used, it was just because of the bright colors that were used. So Maddie, what she did was, she sat on her bed and she kept on gazing. She kept on looking at the drawing that she had placed on the wall. So what she did was, she had stood by and said nothing, but Wanda had been nice to her anyway. So she just thought that time again about Wanda, and she said that although she had not said anything, but she always was by Peggy's side when she was teasing Wanda Petronsky. Tears blurred her eyes, and she gazed for a long time at the picture. Then quickly, she rubbed her eyes and studied it intently. The colors in the dress were so vivid is clear, that she had scarcely noticed the face and head of the drawing. But it looked like her. Maddie, it really looked like her own mouth. Why it really looked like her own self? Wanda had really drawn this for her. Excitedly, she ran over to Peggy's. Peg, she said, let me see your picture. So now in this, what is given here is, in this it is given that Maddie, her vision got blurred. It was just because she had cried a lot and there were tears that came down her eyes. So the vision was blurred. And she was continuously looking at the drawing that she had pinned over the torn place in the wallpaper in her room. So Maddie, she kept on looking at her, and what she noticed that the face and the head of the drawing. So the face looked like her, and it is that she just said that she could not notice the face also, because the colors that she had used, they were very clear, they were very bright, and it is so the moment she noticed the face and the head of the drawing, the face looked like her. And what she did was, she was quite excited, and she just was quite excited that the drawings, they were drawn by Wanda Petronsky especially for them only. So what she did was, she just ran to Peggy, and she just wanted to have a look at Peggy's picture also, that was gifted to Peggy by Wanda Petronsky. What's the matter? Asked Peggy, as she clattered up to her room, where Wanda's drawing was lying face down on the bed. Maddie carefully raised it. "Look, she draw you. That's you," she exclaimed. And the head and the face of this picture did look like Peggy. So now in this, what is given here is, in this it is given that when she saw her picture, she could see that the drawing was especially made for her. She could see her face in that drawing. But the colors that were used to make the dress, they were very clear, they were very bright, that the face was not visible. But when she continuously was gazing at it, so that was the time she realized that the drawing was made for her, and the face also resembled her. So she went to Peggy's house, and when she went there, so that was the time she just wanted to have a look at the drawing that was given to her by Wanda Petronsky. So what she did was, she just saw the drawing. It was lying turned on her bed. So Maddie, she just raised it, and she just saw that it was the face of Peggy that was drawn in that picture. So these girls made out that the drawings were specially made for them, just and the head and the face of this picture, it did look like Peggy. So the drawings that were made by Wanda Petronsky left these girls in shock and awe. "What did I say?" said Peggy. "She must have really liked us anyway." "Yes, she must have," agreed Maddie, and she blinked away the tears that came every time she thought of Wanda standing alone in the sunny spot in the schoolyard, looking stolidly over at the group of laughing girls after she had walked off, after she had said, "Sure, 100 of them, all lined up." So now in this, it is like when these girls, they saw that the face and the head in the drawing was really like like Maddie and Peggy. So it made them believe that Wanda liked them very much. So both these girls, like they agreed that it was Wanda who did like them very much. So Maddie, she also said like it was Wanda who liked her very much, and every time she thought about Wanda, so tears rolled down her eyes, and it is, she could just imagine that she was standing all alone in the yard, in the schoolyard, and the girls were laughing at her, and she could not help Wanda Petronsky, and she, although kept on looking at the girls teasing her, and Wanda, she used to say that she had 100 of them, and all the dresses are lined up. So both these girls, they missed and felt her absence.